Welcome to the Tri Heroes Gaming Podcast. I'm Hassell here. I am by myself tonight because everybody else has prior duties. You will be seeing them later on, probably within the next few weeks. I'm going to try to get somebody on here. Um, the other one is Oliver, also known as Andrew, and another one named Earl. That's the Tri Heroes for the podcast. Now, this podcast that we're trying to make is going to be centered around maybe like mainly Marvel and video game news. So that's what we're actually looking at here. I'm trying to pull up some information right now. It looks like apparently uh, Benedict Wong right off the um, right off the tails of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which I will not be talking about that here because um, I don't know who all seen it. I don't know. I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything. But it looks like Benedict Wong is possibly up for a Wong spin-off film. That would be very interesting to see. Uh, it looks like here we have, of course, we had the unfortunate news a few days ago that one of the best comic book artists, in my opinion, Mr. George Perez, actually passed away. Very unfortunately, um, it looks like, according to the latest press releases from Marvel, that Elizabeth Olsen is quote unquote accepting her destiny as the Scarlet Witch. I guess that means that she's accepted possibly being pigeonholed into playing that character. Um, we're looking at here. There's some Easter eggs that they were talking about comics in Moon Knight. Um, I haven't really gotten a chance to sit down and watch um, Moon Knight, but I've been looking forward to doing so. Um, they're saying that there's a theory that Dave Bautista, he was teasing the end of the Drax character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which would be interesting. I mean, he's kind of the comic relief, and I guess you could argue that with Chris Pratt as well, but it seems like Dave Bautista is really the the comic relief of that series, and he's moving on. Um, there's news in here about backlash to America Chavez's two moms. There's backlash to it. Um, I don't know why, and apparently there's been backlash lately of a Miss Marvel teaser that has been revealing new looks at different controversial powers that she apparently has. They were powers that weren't present in the comic book. So we have to wait and see how that's gonna go. Um, James Gunn was saying a heartfelt goodbye to his Guardians of the Galaxy. Apparently, this third one is going to be the last one in the main series of Guardians. Uh, they showed I believe it was earlier today. You may be able to find it online. There's a new photo from Thor: Love and Thunder that showed not only Thor's new armor, but also showed a better look at Natalie Portman in her armor, and she looks like she beefed up for this role. She looks like she went to the gym for a while. Um, that's to me that's dedication, and that shows somebody who really knows her craft and knows her stuff. Um, see what else we got on the list here of things to discuss. Elizabeth Olsen apparently thought that um, that Avengers Endgame was gonna flop. She said that basically um, her in-game role wasn't exactly a big one, as she was blipped, alongside Doctor Strange and more characters in Infinity War, before going through a portal and teaming up with the galaxy's best in Avengers Endgame. Even so, she got her cheer-inducing moment, and in a one-on-one battle against Thanos, she almost won, and was referenced later, even in a WandaVision episode, just to show how powerful she truly is. Um, she was a key player in the third act of the second biggest box office hit in the history of cinema. Um, I'm sorry, but take that, Martin Scorsese. But recently, when Olsen looked back at that huge moment, she shared some fears that she had about the movie. In an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, she reflected on a recent world premiere for Doctor Strange. She revealed that she didn't actually watch the film the first time after coming to a moment of self-realization when watching Avengers Endgame. The Scarlet Witch actress justified her decision to abstain from watching Multiverse of Madness by saying that she can't watch Marvel premieres anymore due to the continual fear that the film would be the studio's first quote-unquote flop. Um, Endgame made her nervous, basically. It said that it's far from uncommon to see actors avoid watching their own work, especially when it comes to massive Hollywood premieres. Um, Endgame, in particular, had to be a nerve-wracking experience due to the impact that it had on an entire franchise that had developed for 11 years at that point, closing the first big chapter of the most successful movie series in history. Even though Olsen was just in the final scene of the movie, Scarlet Witch in 3 prior films was an integral part of the story that led to the Marvel Studios' fourth team-up outing. In the end, her fears were quelled in a big way, as Endgame became the highest grossing movie in history, and the reviews and reactions were overwhelmingly positive. Now she's just waiting to see how fans react to her latest work before she actually goes to go see it. So that's interesting. I've heard the same thing, that there's a lot of movie stars, actors, people like that, that will not go to see their movies. They don't want to see how they act, or they don't want to see it. So we're going to continue moving on down this list here. Apparently, there is. I'm trying not to get too spoilerish here, but the news notes aren't exactly helping me with that. The For Thor 4, for Thor Love and Thunder, apparently Christian Bale, playing the next villain. The director has hyped him up, saying that he could be possibly Marvel's best villain. Which those are some pretty big shoes to fill. I mean, Thanos was a pretty good villain. And Marvel actors 5 days ago were they were celebrating the Avengers 10-year anniversary. It was 10 years ago, from 5 days ago, that the first Avengers movie actually premiered in theaters. Which is crazy to see the journey that we've been on since then, and how much even the world has changed since then. Kind of nuts to see that. I remember actually going to go see the first Avengers movie. It was, when he comes on the podcast, he'd be able to talk to you about it. It was actually Earl's first time. Well, we all went our first time together to see it. It was me, Earl, I believe Timmy, a friend of ours named Matt, and a friend of ours named Josh. That we all went to the movie theater. I think Timmy was actually working that day, so he couldn't watch the movie with us, but he was working at the theater, and he was the one that got us in to go see it. Because he put us on the list of people to come in and see a free movie. So, that was fun. Let's see here. We have a lot about Moon Knight, which I'm not really into discussing that because, again, I don't know much about it. I haven't seen Moon Knight yet. There's apparently a new Hall of Armor Lego set coming from Lego that for Iron Man's new Hall of Armor. That's cool. That's really cool. Here's a cool question that just got brought up in this news article. Who thinks that Disney Plus's X-Men, the one that they're going to be, the reboot of the 95 version, that kind of thing, will it be canon in the MCU? Do you want it to be canon in the MCU? Here's what one of the writers, the head writer, explained. The direct's Russ Milheim got to sit down with Bo DeMaio, who is the head writer and executive producer of the upcoming X-Men 97 animated series. He said the one thing I can say towards that is, I know sometimes we say no comment, and it's like, oh, they're just being obstinate. I'm going to go with no comment here because part of the surprise will be finding that out when you experience the show. I can't speak to marketing, but I think there's a degree of you will be asking that question. So, that leads me to believe that Marvel's X-Men 97 is going to have something to do with the MCU in some way. It is going to tie in. Let's see here. Let's see what other topics that we have to discuss. Disney has delayed, apparently, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel 2. Interesting. I mean, I didn't even see Captain Marvel 1, to be honest. I'm not really that big of a Brie Larson fan anyways. I don't know what it is. I just don't. I'm not saying that I don't like her. I'm saying that just as an actress, that I don't think she's that great. Apparently, they're proceeding forward with Echo, which I don't agree with. Echo was one of the dumbest characters that they've put in recent series. Doctor Strange's Benedict Wong is revealing that he hopes that he does get a crossover at some point with the X-Men. That would be kind of cool. I would love to see, like we were talking about X-Men 97. I'd like to see that. But the one that I'm really hyped for at this moment, because I've always been a fan of those comics, that series of comics at least, is the Fantastic Four. We'll have to wait and see what they're going to do about that. But I'm really hyped to see Fantastic Four. So I hope that they're coming soon. Apparently there's new merch that got released. Some MCU merch got released by well, it was kind of a leak, I guess, but a new piece of crew merch for Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion may have revealed, or may have leaked the inclusion of the Skrull god Cliven in the upcoming series. The leaked hat features an eye patch wearing owl with a clock emblazoned across the front, with some alien script along the back, which, when using a cipher from back when the original Secret Invasion comic storyline came out, the scroll text is revealed to this day. He loves you. he directly referring to Clippin. Most of the time when they talk about the scroll god, the scrolls refer to Clippin as he. They don't refer to him as Clippin. Um, let's move on to some different news here. We're gonna go through some gaming news here. Well, first off, let's continue on the mode of movies. And apparently today there was a poster and trailer revealed for Avatar: The Way of the Water, which looks very decent. Um, let's see, where's the gaming news here? Activision and Blizzard is sending anti-union emails ahead of Raven software vote. Wow. Okay. Pokemon games are on sale today. The next Dead Space remake developer live stream was announced. Long delayed Resident Evil Reverse may actually be on the way soon. We just don't know when. EVE Online developer is making yet another FPS set in the sci-fi universe. Okay, that I don't really agree with, because EVE Online, I mean, it's fun and all, but it's very confusing, and there's no linearness to it. Like a real learning curve is sharp for that game, and I'm still trying to figure it out. It feels like it's an incomplete game, to be honest with you. Not trying to be negative in any sort of sense, but it just seems like it's not really finished yet. Scarlet Witch, as everybody saw, was the latest character to join Fortnite. So currently, if you're playing Fortnite and you made it to the end of the battle pass, you see that Doctor Strange was unlocked, but now you can play as either Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch, which is cool. I think that's pretty awesome. Barton Lynch Pro Surfing 2022 is a new game that's coming out. Also, Sony acquired Bungie, but it's being probed by the FTC for some reason, because they're trying to crack down on tech mergers. It also looks like we're going to have a new Spider-Man game. Well, we know that, Spider-Man 2. But what it could look like in Unreal Engine 5 was actually tested recently. That's pretty cool. Somebody took the Fisher-Price controller and modded it to work on PC and actually played Elden Ring with it. That's funny. That's funny. They should let people play Destiny with it. You know, especially if they play as a Titan. Sorry, just throwing that out there. Rocket League has a Battle Royale mode? I played Rocket League. I know this. Knockout Bash puts a new spin. Rocket League's new mode is Battle Royale for people who hate Battle Royale. Knockout is part of Rocket League's spring in-game event called Knockout Bash, which goes from April 27th to May 10th. Oh, crap. Means, in addition to existing movesets, there are 3 new skills to master: attack, block, and grab. Attack is basically dodging into an opponent, sending them flying if placed right. Block is essentially parry. Grab allows you to, well, grab other players and throw them. Knockout also has secondary mechanics, which are basically advanced version of existing moves, such as boosting, jumping, lock on. For example, you're able to do a triple jump instead of the normal double jump. 3 new arenas: Calavera, Carbon, and Quadrant. The walls of each arena have been worn away and are perfect for knocking players out of the arena. That's crazy. don't know if I'd be too into that. That doesn't sound like my thing. Cities VR, VR adaptation of City Skylines. That's pretty cool. Sony has confirmed that it has stopped PlayStation Plus users from stacking their membership. I know why a lot of people are doing that, because membership prices are going up. They're gonna get higher because PlayStation's including, the new tiers. I believe like PlayStation Plus Premium and PlayStation Plus Extra and all that. For what is it? PlayStation Now is being added to it. Rockstar Games 13 days ago adds the next gen patch to GTA 5, including the option to remove motion blur. Nice. Starfield's music, yeah. Meta's opening its first retail store, so Facebook's basically opening a retail store. Cool. Don't really care, but cool. Game Scoop. Borderlands 3 is finally getting full crossplay after the go-ahead from PlayStation. Okay. Apparently, the director of Star Wars Rogue Squadron wants an Ultimate Remaster done. That would be really cool. That was one of my favorite Star Wars games. That's what got me really into playing any of the Star Wars games. And even to this day, I still play Star Wars Battlefront 2. And the only game mode that I normally play on it is Starfighter Assault. Now this is interesting. Coming fall 2022, there's a new psychological horror game coming out called No Return. It's coming on October 30th, 2022, and it looks to be trying to pick up where PT left off, if anybody remembers PT. The debut game from the Chinese studio Blame Tech follows in the footsteps of the Silent Hills teaser, in that it's about a man caught in an infinitely looping version of his own home. There are never-ending corridors, but with lashings of Chinese folklore and mysteries to solve. It's set in modern-day China. There's a man returning to his home and becoming stuck in a never-ending loop that reflects a mysterious family tragedy. No Return tells the story of a broken home. As one recollects memory fragments, not all the memories are welcoming. Just like tearing a band-aid repeatedly on an open wound, you cannot avert your eyes from this cruel and painful experience. Clearly, No Return has borrowed a few tricks from other successful horror franchises. The unnerving video static is very reminiscent of The Ring, with missing persons posters plastered down the hallways, setting an ominous scene. Soon enough, the ever-shifting layout of your once-familiar home sets an eerie tone with jump scares and creepiness abound. Something is clearly very wrong here. Solving the mystery Silent Hill style is very much the name of the game, but No Return is steeped in Chinese folklore, with household items forming a connection between the living and the dead. Simply place the right items in the right places can cause your entire reality to shift around you. That should make puzzle solving a rather unique experience. Its debut title for an indie developer named Blame Tech, which was published by TikTok creator ByteDance's game publishing arm Pixmane, a group of 6 creators and developers from Hangzhou, China, founded by Lisane Wang and Yuxuan Gao. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The team were classmates at the Vancouver Film School and went on to work for the likes of Tencent and NetEase before going indie together. The game is aiming for a 3 to 4 hour runtime and will arrive for PC on October 30th. You can actually put it on your wish list right now on Steam. Interesting. I'm not really a big fan of, well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I, for what it was, PT was okay. However, I am a fan of horror games. What I normally stream nowadays is things like Phasmophobia or Devour stuff like that. I try to stream a lot of those. Um, I'm I'm iffy because I was thinking at one point of getting Evil Dead the game, but I already have Friday the 13th the game, and you know we all saw kind of how that went, and I'd like to see if this is going to be any different before anything else happens. Um, Ghostbusters VR was announced for the Meta Quest 2, which it's not the Oculus Quest 2 anymore, it's the Meta Quest 2, which I have one. NFL Pro Era will be the first officially licensed VR football game. That's cool. Okay. Kim Kardashian apparently, her son found an advertisement through Roblox, uh, that said that there was a fake sex tape game of her and Ray J, and she threatened to sue over it, which was crazy. She's gonna sue some kid on Roblox. Okay. TMNT Shredder's Revenge is coming soon. Uh, there's a release window, but not really a release date. Um, and then I just scrolled past and saw, of course, Snoop Dogg right now is in Call of Duty, but more exciting for me because I am a huge kaiju fan. Like, I love watching kaiju movies. Um, One of my favorite kaiju, of course, Godzilla, the big guy. He is his. They have an operator skin for him in Call of Duty, Vanguard, and Call of Duty Warzone right now. They released it early, even though the event doesn't start for 2 more days. They released it a few days ago, and it's great to look at, but it pisses me off because anybody who's sniping can plainly see where I'm at. That glow is intense, and it'll knock. It's nuts. It's intense. You can see somebody from across the map with that kind of glow. Um, Apparently, there's talks of Portal 3 happening. Jane Foster's store is going to be coming to the Marvel's Avengers game, which, by the way, um, let me look this up. So, there's a bit of issue going on right now with the game developer for Marvel's Avengers. It was done by Crystal Dynamics, and Crystal Dynamics mentioned that basically the future is up to Disney. Square Enix sold Crystal Dynamics to Embracer Group, which Embracer is a company that owned previously THQ. Now, this acquisition would have a huge impact on the future of Marvel's Avengers. It's conceived as a live service game, with Crystal Dynamics releasing free updates to expand the game over time. Its first year, the title received 3 pieces of DLC that included Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and Black Panther as new playable characters. The impressive War for Wakanda expansion pack brought players to Wakanda for a battle with Ulysses Claw, but after its release, updates became much more sporadic, with Embracer Group recently buying Crystal Dynamics, and a developer recently revealing that there's no long-term roadmap for Marvel's Avengers. Many fans are expecting support for the game to end in the near future. According to Embracer Group, Investor Call posted to YouTube, the future of Marvel's Avengers is now in Disney's hands. When asked about the game's future and the future of Eidos Montreal's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, CEO Lars Wingforce stated that both projects are included in the transaction. However, external approval from Disney would be needed before Crystal Dynamics could continue working on future updates for Marvel's Avengers. This means that Disney must agree to let Embracer Group work with their licenses, a process that will no doubt interrupt or possibly end support for Marvel's Avengers. Um, while there are no long term plans, an exciting upcoming update was recently revealed as the 2.5 update this summer will add Jane Foster as Thor into Marvel's Avengers, pulling from Marvel Comics history and tying into the upcoming film Thor: Love and Thunder. The superheroine will apparently possess her own unique suite of abilities and moves, despite wielding Mjolnir and Thor's power set. The reveal of Jane Foster makes the future of Marvel's Avengers a bit less bleak, but time will tell whether she serves as the game's final new hero or not. It has been struggling, the game, yeah, and I'll agree with that. The game has been struggling ever since launch, and some assumed that Embracer Group purchase would permanently end development. However, it seems that approval from Disney is the one thing stopping Crystal Dynamics from working to improve the project further. A new home for Crystal Dynamics may even breathe new life into Marvel's Avengers, provided that the House of Mouse gives their blessing. So, yeah, that's fun. Apparently, there's leaks of more suits for Marvel's Avengers, including Iron Man's Civil War costume, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'm into that. But I think that's actually going to do it for tonight's uh, podcast. I am going to get more developed. This is only episode 1. I'm planning to get other people involved as soon as they come around. Andrew and Earl, namely. Earl probably not as much because he's been having some changes in his life recently, and in a very positive way. But yeah. Until next time, hopefully we can get somebody else in here to chat and do the podcast that way. All right, later.